Another year has just come to an end, and we continued the traditions that we grew up with. But what are some of the New Year's traditions from around the world? Here are 30 of the world's unique New Year's traditions. In Spain, you eat exactly 12 grapes on New Year's Eve. Each of the grapes is supposed to represent a month in the year. It is believed to bring good luck. This started in the late 19th or early 20th century. I don't know if there's any harm if you decide to have more than just 12 grapes though. Does the universe carry that over to the next year? I don't know. Brazilians have the Festa de la Mancha, where people wear white and jump into the sea. They then jump 7 waves. Why 7? Don't ask me. But they do this because it's believed to bring them closer to the goddess of the sea, as well as bring them luck. You can also make a wish for each jump. Some people also throw flowers into the ocean as an offering. In Scotland, during the last day of the year, or Hogmanay, they celebrate a tradition called first footing. When the clock strikes midnight, people head over to the homes of loved ones to be the first one to enter their home in the new year. The first footer brings gifts like whiskey, shortbread, coal, and salt. These all symbolize prosperity for the coming year. Maybe Santa's Scottish, because he sometimes gives away coal. Maybe coal is for prosperity. In many parts of Latin America, they make Años Viejos, which are life-size dummies that are filled with rags, newspapers, or wood scraps. Then they're dressed in old clothes and get burned on New Year's Eve. This is to burn away the past year and welcome in the new. These dummies are made to look like a lot of various characters, both fictional and non-fictional. Think of all the possibilities of who you could dress them as. One of Japan's tourist attractions are its temples, and during New Year's Eve, Buddhist temples all over Japan ring their bells 108 times. I don't know who keeps track of the number of times, but they ring them for exactly that amount. Each time the bell is rung is supposed to drive away one of the 108 earthly desires based on Buddhist tradition. Honestly, I think I have more than just 108 earthly desires. Ever hoped of becoming taller? In the Philippines, they have a tradition that you have to jump at midnight on New Year's Eve in order to grow taller. That's why you'll see parents tell their kids to jump. I'm not sure if it works on adults, but hey, it's still cheaper than getting surgery. People believe that the pomegranate is a symbol of fertility, abundance, good fortune, and prosperity. So on New Year's Day in Greece, families take a pomegranate with them to church so it gets blessed. Then they take it home and smash it. The goal is to have the seeds end up all over your floor. Yeah, make a mess. The more seeds there are in the pomegranate, the more bountiful your coming year will be. Time to buy some pomegranates. Evil spirits are things you should always try and get rid of. And I know witches and wizards that deal with these kind of things, so you really should deal with them as soon as possible. In Ireland, however, they've found a doughy way of dealing with evil spirits. During New Year's Eve, they bang loaves of Christmas bread throughout their homes, banging on walls and doors, and this is supposed to drive away the evil spirits. Out with the old and in with the new. I guess that's how Italians would start their celebration on New Year's Eve. In southern Italy, people throw their old pots, pans, as well as furniture out the window. Most Italians have abandoned this tradition. Otherwise, there would be a lot of injuries during New Year. Not really a great way to start. People normally eat a lot during the holidays, but on New Year's Day in Estonia, people eat 7 to 12 times in a day. This is believed to not only make you strong, but to make sure you have lots of food for the entire year. Having your fortunes told is an activity that a lot of people enjoy during the new year. In Finland, they have a tradition called udenvodentina, but instead of a deck of cards or a crystal ball, they put tin in a ladle on top of a stove. Once the tin melts, they throw it into a bucket of cold water. The shapes that are formed are used to predict fortunes. I never thought I'd put my future in the hands of a hunk of metal, but here we are. A lot of people celebrate the new year by drinking a glass of champagne. But wouldn't you like some ash to go with that champagne? In Russia, you write your wish in a piece of paper, burn it, and put its ashes in your champagne. I guess that's one way to truly internalize your wish. Supposedly, doing this will make your wish come true. New Year's Eve is supposed to be a time spent with the family. I guess that includes those that have already passed. So in Talca, Chile, they spend the night in a cemetery on the day of New Year's Eve. They usually bring foods and drink to celebrate. They light candles and decorate the graves of their loved ones. We all dress up to welcome the new year, but who knew that even your underwear had something to do with welcoming in the new year? In Mexico and many parts of Latin America, it's tradition to wear new underwear, but that's not all. If you're looking for love, you should wear red underwear. If you're looking for money, you wear yellow. Mental note, buy yellow underwear. Swimming in freezing cold waters is hard enough as it is, but why not try planting a tree underwater as well? That's the New Year tradition that some professional divers are doing in Siberia. They open up a hole in the frozen Lake Baikal, then they dive in and plant a tree. This is supposed to symbolize starting over. In Romania, they have a yearly bear dance between Christmas and the New Year where people dress up in their best bear costume. They say that this tradition originated centuries ago when people would parade with actual bears to drive off evil spirits. Now, these dancing bears would knock on people's doors for luck and a happy New Year. In Germany, when they say Schwein gehabt, or having a pig in English, it means that you're lucky. This started in medieval times when a farmer is able to breed a lot of pigs. Marzipan also became popular around this time. So now, Germany has a tradition of handing out pigs made of marzipan for good luck in the new year. New Year is such a fun celebration, so why don't we just celebrate it more than just once a year? That's exactly what the people in Macedonia do, where on New Year's Eve they celebrate with fireworks, and on the Lunar New Year, children receive gifts from their families. In Vietnam, they have the 5-fruit tray, which, as its name says, has 5 types of fruit. Each fruit type has a certain color that can symbolize one of the 5 natural elements, like metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. It can also symbolize things like peace, luck, and prosperity. It all depends on the region where you're from. What's common though is that they're a way to attract luck for the coming year and as an offering to their ancestors. Dropping food on the floor is never a good thing, especially when you have a mom with a spider sense for messes, but that's not the case in Switzerland, at least not for ice creams. Apparently, dropping ice cream on the floor at midnight on New Year's is supposed to bring abundance. So remember, the next time you drop ice cream, abundance. Want to travel more? Maybe this New Year's tradition from Colombia is right for you. Just walk around with an empty suitcase. This is supposed to symbolize a year that's full of travel. I guess that's what people were doing during the pandemic when they put suitcases on treadmills, pretending that they were in the airport. Ever heard of oliebollen? It's a Dutch tradition of frying batter, so like donuts, around New Year's Eve. Eating these while waiting for the clock to strike 12 is supposed to bring luck. They can also have other ingredients like raisins, currants, cinnamon, or apple slices. Things that are round are considered lucky in the Philippines. So to start the new year right, they make sure that they have as many round things as possible. This includes what they wear. Polka dots symbolize money and fortune, so people tend to wear clothes with a polka dot design on them. Hanging garlic outside your door is supposed to ward off vampires. But in Greece, they have a tradition of hanging onions outside your door during the new year. Onions are apparently a symbol of good health, fertility, and longevity. So hanging them outside will attract fortune in the coming year. Eating soba noodles is quite common in Japan, but did you know that there's a specific soba noodle that they eat for the new year? It's the toshikoshi soba. It started around 800 years ago when a Buddhist temple gave out soba noodles to poor people on the New Year's. Now it's just been a tradition for a lot of Japanese people. Most people cut up apples to put in desserts or just to eat. But as a New Year's tradition in the Czech Republic, they cut up apples for something else. Apples can actually tell what you can expect for the coming year. You'd cut the apple in half horizontally, and if the core has a star shape, you're in luck. That means happiness and health. But if it's a cross shape, then someone will get sick or die. That's a lot of power for an apple. People have various good luck charms, but have you heard of good luck bread? People in Armenia bake these during the new year, although it's not exclusive to it. You can have it on other occasions as well. The baker of the good luck bread places a coin in it, and whoever gets a slice with the coin will have a prosperous year ahead. Hopefully they don't swallow the coin. Another way of telling what the upcoming year holds is using potatoes. Yes, potatoes.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
This is a tradition from the people of Colombia where you put 3 potatoes under your pillow. One that's completely peeled, one that is half peeled, and one with the skin on. When the clock strikes midnight, you would take out the first potato that you touch, and this determines your fortune for the new year. If you get the peeled potato, it means that you'll have a bad year. Unpeeled is a good year, and the half-peeled is somewhere in the middle. This well-known tradition dates back to 1907. Hundreds of thousands of people go to watch it each year. It's watching the ball drop in New York City's Times Square. The ball used to be made of just iron, wood, and light bulbs. Now it's covered with a total of 2,688 crystal triangles. It's a spectacle that's watched live and broadcast to billions all over the world. Now, this is the tradition that most of us, including myself, tend to break. It's the making of New Year's resolutions. This started way back during the time of the ancient Babylonians. They made promises to their gods. If they kept their word, they would receive blessings from the gods. If not, they would be on their god's bad side. See? Even breaking New Year's resolutions have always been part of the tradition. And those were 30 of the world's unique New Year's traditions. Were there any traditions that we missed? What traditions do you have where you're from? Comment them below, and until next time, fellow mages,